Hello fellow crafters, this is Jane Fires, an affiliate with Fun Stampers Journey and Spellbinders. Am I on? This is the card we're going to do today. It's a shaker card, and when everybody sees it they say, oh no, but it's really not hard to do at all. I'm going to walk you through every step and every phase, so just stay with me. I'll show you first what I used. I used the new stamp set called Faithfulness, and out of it I used our two words, Happy Easter and Sending You Joy and Happiness. There's a lot of other things. This little bunny is really cute. So there's a lot of different stamps here that can be used for a lot of different things besides Easter, but because we're doing Easter, this is the one I'm using. It also comes with a Faithfulness die set. So this is nice because you can die cut most of your items out of that set. The other set that I'm using is the new Easter Fancy Eggs. Easter Greetings is in it, and these are all of our eggs. Now we're not going to use quite all of them, but we are going to use most of them. And they come this way. Now once I use an egg, I put it back in. And the reason I'm doing that is because these eggs are not real big, and knowing me, I may lose one and I don't want to, so I put them back in here. This set also comes with the dies. The Easter Greetings die and then the two egg dies, so you can die cut. We're not using the die today, but it does come if you want to get one. The other thing that we're using today is the hexagon die set, and I cut out my frame and my acetate using the hexagon die set from Fun Stampers. So this is a die that if you want to do a hexagon one, for sure you're going to need. The other equipment that I used besides our colors and our blocks was my punch system. And what I wanted a tag. And I simply put a piece of cardstock in and punched, and it's very easy. If you know someone that has arthritis, this is probably one of the easiest punches for them to use. So there's my tags. So let's get started. This, remember, is the card that we're going to be doing today. The first thing that I have told all of my ladies to do as we get started doing this is that they're going to want to go around, and I just put a few little lines, and you can see that on my base card. I'm doing that because I know that when I get the top finished, this is where it's going to go. And I want to make sure that I have it ready to go there. So on this one I've already stamped. I did this to show everybody, but I'm going to do another one to show you exactly how you do this. Now, if you don't have a lot of blocks, you're going to have to put them on and off, and I'll show you why and how I do that today. The first thing that I did once I had my front done is I did put on this one, I did put some of my tape on it without taking the backing off. Now this is the foam tape that Fun Stampers has. And I'm going to finish doing this because I want to be able to stamp on this piece. What you can do, because I want thin pieces, I don't want it this thick. So what I have done is I have laid a piece of my foam tape on a piece of wax paper. And then all I have to do is cut down through in half my foam tape, and I have the size I want. Because it's wax paper, my foam tape will peel right off. So that's a tip for you if you don't want foam tape that's as wide as it comes. Now I've already started on this one. I've put some strips already on. Remember that when you're doing a shaker card, the one thing that you want is as you lift it up with your foam tape, you don't want any holes where it comes together at. Because if there's a hole there, your whatever shaky things you're going to put inside, and today we're going to use sequins and things, they're going to come through right there, and that's obviously not what you want. So then I'm going to put a piece down here across the bottom, because again, I don't need the full width. Peel off my other piece. And fill it in where I want it at. Now this doesn't have to be as tight because this is simply going to help to raise this part of my card up off my base, which is what I want. Okay, so now I have all of my foam tape on. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my stamping. I'm going to stamp all the way around this, and then in my base card, I'm going to stamp in the middle here. Okay, so I'm going to start in the middle. And the color that I'm using for the middle, the biggest one, is my big stamp, and it is Pretty Pansy. And I'm using Pretty Pansy because it's a little bit darker. And also, once I stamp this, you'll notice that it has the outline around it. So this one, I do not need to outline at all. So there's my Pretty Pansy. And very honestly, this is the only one that I'm using Pretty Pansy for. All right, now I'm taking my Orange Creamsicle, because I don't want Pretty Pansy to be alone in the center. So it doesn't really matter how you do it. You already have your lines you can see. So you're going to know that you're okay as you do this. And the front part, your shaker part, is going to cover all this up. So I'm going to stamp my same color, my Orange Creamsicle, over on the front of my card as well. And my next color that I'm using is Beach Breeze. And the next color is Limeade Splash. And then Summer Days. I think that's enough for Summer Days. And then I'm going to Grape Fusion, and Grape Fusion is a lighter color. And this egg is nothing but speckled. And you're going to say, oh, it's hard to see. Well, just wait, you'll see it better in a minute. And then my last egg that I'm using is going to be used with Watermelon Fusion. Okay, now you say, well, your eggs look real plain. Well, just wait a minute. Because our stamp set also comes with outlines. And I just thought about something, so I'm going to tell it to you because I almost goofed. When you have an outline stamp with lots of rubber on the inside, rather than doing what I did to start with, do it the reverse way. Lay your stamp down and take your ink to your stamp, because then you're not going to get it where you don't want it. Now this is the biggest one, outline, and so this egg is a big outline. And this egg has a big outline. this is the big egg up here. And this egg here already has the outline, so that one doesn't need one, but my two orangish colored ones, they do. So do this one. And that one. Okay, so that's all the big eggs. So now I'm taking my small egg outline and I'll go over all of my other eggs. Now those of you that do classes, I did this card in a class already, and how I did it was I started on one side of my group, because I only of course had the one stamp set, and they all used the same stamp with the same color, so that all we had to do was just pass them all around, and it went fairly quickly to do them. And so it's an easy card really to do if you want to do it in a class. Now the last two I have to do on this one are the two with the speckles. And so you can see the speckles show up much better now once you get the outline put around them. Okay, so the front part's now done. Now all I have to do are the few eggs here on my base card. So now I have everything outlined the way we want it. So now we have the front and the base card finished. So now what we're going to do is turn this part over, and I always make sure that I've wiped my acetate off, so that I don't have anything on my acetate. Now what I'm using in this card for the shakers are some little chicks that are sequins, and sequins themselves. And I didn't get these from Fun Stampers or from Spellbinders. I got these from the company that's called Buttons Galore. But in here they do have some little beads and some little buttons. Well, I found that they don't work. So what you need to do is figure out what you want for your shaker. So when I did the class, I told my ladies, take a few of these, put them in on your acetate, and then decide, and as you look at them, do you have any buttons or do you have any little beads? Because they will not shake. They would if you double this around, but because I had several in my class, I didn't have them double it. So I just had them pull out what beads and things would not fit. Now there are some little tiny beads in there that will fit, but the buttons and some of the bigger beads would not fit. Oh, let's see. I think I need just a few more sequins. But you can find this mixture on Buttons Galore website. Okay, so I've got my shakers in, and I try to make sure that I have just a flat layer in there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off all my backing here and I will put it on my card. Now I told the ladies, one of the things that if you don't like your pencil lines, if you really don't like these pencil lines, go ahead and erase them. Now the first card that I made that I showed you earlier at the beginning of the video, I didn't erase them and I didn't see them at all. But if you really don't like the pencil lines that you drew so that you knew where to stamp and things, go ahead and you can erase them now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off all of my backing on my foam tape. And when I do this, I do hold it down with one hand and pull tape with the other. And this is, of course, the exact same size as the front of my base card. Because what I'm going to do is take my base card now and turn it over so my front side is going down. And you're going to probably see my head a minute, but I want to make sure that I have this lined up at the top and sides exactly. And then I simply walk it down and over, and I press hard. Now I can turn it over, and there's all my little shakers in here. So now I want to highlight the front of it. So I've cut out my hexagon, and I like to use our craft glue from Fun Stampers because once it sticks, and I mean it's down, but it gives me just a few seconds to move it around if I'm not liking exactly where I have it at. Okay, so now I have my frame on. So now I'm taking my tag, and I want my tag to show up because I'm going to place it down here. So I think what I'm going to do is take my pretty pansy, and I'm going to go around the edges of my tag right on my ink pad. And you can see now that edging shows up. And let's use this one too for Happy Easter. On the original I used black, but this is fairly dark. So on my tag now, and I'm going fairly close to my right side of my tag as I'm looking at it, I'm going to stamp my Happy Easter. Then I'm going to turn that over, and I think I'll just take a little piece of my phone tape. One of the nice things about our phone tape from Fun Stampers is you can tear it. So I can just tear a piece off because I want my tag to be popped up. And pop my Happy Easter up on the front of my card. Then I want a little something else on the front of my card. So I took some of our the Limeade string that we have. I call it string. I think it's called thread. And I just made me a little bow. And again, I'm going to use just a dot of our glue. Now you could punch a hole if you wanted to and put it through the hole, but I find it just as easy to do this. And our glue, of course, dries clear. So there's the front of my card. Now on the inside, I'm going to put sending you joy and happiness. And because I used purple on my Happy Easter, I'll use the purple, which is our pretty pansy, on my words. And stamp it on the inside. And there are my words, sending you joy and happiness. Now, if you wanted to, on the inside, you could also make it match more with the outside. And so, let's see. Let's take our blue egg. Better put him down further though. Beach Breeze. And let's just give him a couple blue eggs on the inside. And then take our hazelnut, which is the color we're outlining with. And outline our two blue eggs. And so we have our two eggs inside, our eggs outside, and it is our shaker card for Happy Easter. Children in particular would love getting a shaker card for Easter. So there is one using almost all of the eggs from our new die set that came out in our spring mini catalog. Our spring mini catalog is called Easter Blessings. In here are all different stamps. This here happens to be an embossing folder, which is a plaid one, and I'll show you that later. Our little bunny here. The two new colors that we have, which are Hazelnut Blend and Tangerine Fusion, and these are our dye inks. They're the liquid colors. That's the stamp set there that we use today. This one here, Silly Goose, is a cute stamp set. I will use it later. Then, of course, our Gable Favor box. These little decorations here, which is called Sweet Home Accents, will fit on this. It will also fit if you have a little house die that's a steel rule die. It will fit on those as well. This is the carrot, and I will do it later to show you. The garden fence and the Peep Peep ATS, that was in our big catalog. This is our new 12 by 12 paper pack, Create and Bloom. This is the little lamb, just for you. It's an AT, and it also has a die with it. This is our baby bow, and I'll do a demo with it later, but it is really cute. So now we have 3 different size bows. We have a large one, a medium, and now the baby. Hippity Hop here, we'll be using this one later on in a video also to show you. It was in the big catalog. And then this is the Easter Blessings tag. This is the die that you can use to die cut all of these out. They come colored just like this. So you can find this little mini brochure on the website. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. It's Serif, S as in Sam, ERIF1 at AOL.com. It is my name backwards. You can go to my website at www.janies-angelhugs.com, and on the right is my banner for Fun Stampers and Spellbinders. If you click on it, I will get credit and receive a small compensation for what you buy. Thanks, and have a blessed day.